isn't it? Well, not that
live
much
as you can
earlier,
be.
but we're as live as you can be. Good afternoon, good
As soon
morning,
as
good
you went
evening,
live,
wherever you might be
you
in the
went all
world.
pixelated. How's
Did
that
I?
low bandwidth? Yeah.
Oh, don't talk to me about bandwidth. We've had terrible power and internet problems here for very amusing reasons. Oh, I should just talk amongst yourselves, and I'll get a picture up. I'll get a picture up for one of the amusing reasons. But before we do that, now.
Oh, there he goes. He's frozen again. Oh, that's wonderful, isn't it? I'll sing karaoke hour now while Gary gets unfrozen. If he does.
Are we going to? Oh, that's because you're right. It's every time we do this, isn't it?
Well, that's using more bandwidth, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Are all the world's problems with flying cars fixed now that we have solid state batteries? It's done.
Of course they are. Absolutely.
It's finished.
What problems?
Half the weight. Half the weight now. That's right, isn't it?
Yeah, we don't have to wait. We don't have to wait quite so long then.
Half the well, quite so. But these with their like 600-kilometer range and their solid state batteries now. Well, that's why I wanted to ask you. So why is it all rubbish?
Yeah. It's the solid state. It's a nascent technology that still hasn't reached a suitable level for production. It's still got drawbacks. I see, because I see so many companies saying, "Oh, we're going to introduce solid state batteries," and in fact, I watched a Chinese video the other day claiming to have a semi-solid state battery, but it's just a regular lithium iron phosphate. The problems with the solid electrolyte are quite significant.
So, well, explain to me. I'm not clever enough to understand these things.
I'm not a brain rocket scientist. I don't know.
they're just. So you don't believe these guys that they bought this?
I think they're overselling it. Like everything these days, it's all about the sizzle. You oversell. I mean, you just do an Elon Musk. You say, we're going to do this. Give us your money. And then 10 years later, we're nearly there.
Well, it's. I say it was announced at CES, and I say of CES that CES is a place where good ideas go to die. If you get an award at CES, then you're in trouble. It really is to me. Tulip's already. Oh, Outcome said Tulip's already offering this level capacity already. That's interesting. Yeah. Is it just around the corner? Or is it pure unobtainium?
Well, there's so many factors.
There?
When you look at the releases, it's got this fantastic. It'll either have fantastic capacity, energy density, or it'll have fantastic longevity. It'll last for millions of miles, or it'll have fantastic volumetric efficiency. But it never has them all. There's always something that you're giving up to get something else. You got to decide what's important.
Yes, well, I need all this for my flying car. I mean, that's quite obvious, isn't it? Now, it's a pity Ian's not here, because there's one. I'll do one first before he comes, just in case he does come, because there's ones that annoy me. But everybody seems to have forgotten with this FCC America thing. Everyone seems to have forgotten that there was, on the 22nd, they actually said, Federal Highway Administration and other federal agencies also put in another ban. And people are only just waking up to that. Even though I've still got I can't use that as well. And I'm amazed at what people are focusing on in these times of trouble and woe for them. They really are focusing on the wrong things. And if I'm to speak to the UK, people are fixated on the green nightlight.
Well, he's going to have a green light.
Completely ignoring the fact that RID is being driven through here and Network RID is already being talked about. They seem to be completely forgetting that. I just don't understand why people aren't paying attention.
That's the strategy, isn't it? The strategy, when you want to slip something through, you go, look at the pretty green light while we slip through RID. Distraction.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, are there any other examples of that at the moment in the world, I wonder?
There's bound to be plenty.
Yeah. Well, I see there's a Russian ship. They're banning everything. Well, it is, Johnny. It's but it's interesting how and it's going to completely fall off the radar in the US now because of everything else that's happening and your ability, there's going to be a big movement towards move to Greenland, isn't there? There's going to be a find your new home. Go north, young man. Instead of go west, it's going to be go north or northeast to a place that's not as big as it appears to be on the map.
And it's not as green either most of the year.
No.
It's littered with. Well, I couldn't work this out myself because Greenlanders are like a big chunk of land, but Mr. Trump says it's covered in Russian and Chinese ships. Are they run aground or something?
I don't know. I don't know what's up there. I know that there is one of the Shadow Fleet ships up there right now. Yeah, well, that's
the US military is going to get this. This is basically piracy on the high seas, though, and it's like annexing another country and saying we've come to save you.
Yes.
If you don't have the international rule of law, you have anarchy. And might is why my name's down here. Might is right. Whoever has the biggest, most effective military runs the world. And that's what we've got at the moment.
Well, yeah, for a while, but that can't happen forever.
Well, it only has to last until Trump has had his turn. But it's interesting. You notice when they attacked Venezuela, that apparently Venezuela had some of China's latest anti-stealth radar systems that didn't pick up any of the approaching aircraft.
I'm not sure how much of that I believed. For sure. They allegedly had all that stuff, but why would it be useful to China to test it out there? I don't quite think.
I think this is far less about rescuing the Venezuelans from a despot than it is about sending messages to other military powers around the world and testing things out, trying out. Because if America knew that there was Chinese defensive equipment there, it's a great way to test and see if it works. Just go and also it's a way of saying to the world, look, we've got such a fantastic military, it works with such precision. Don't cross us, or we'll come and kidnap you.
So we mustn't get too political, but it's a terrible situation.
Yeah.
So we've got to be objective, and we are, so it's green lights in England that's bothering people and not seeing through red, and I think companies are beginning to notice that cripes, our supply chain isn't quite as good as we thought it was going to be, and oh my word, it is going to be really hard to comply with these FCC proposals. I wish we could call them something else, because it doesn't seem to be right to say FCC, because it's various bits that don't naturally appear to be part of their remit. But we have always said on this channel, be afraid of your aviation regulator, be way more afraid of your radio regulator. It comes to pass.
Yeah, because if they're part of any system that broadcasts an RF transmission, then effectively FCC has control over them. Even though a battery is effectively not a radio frequency transmitter, it's part of a system when you use it in a drone. So it's therefore covered by the FCC's things. You don't have to have it certified, but it still has to be approved. And the thing that really, as I mentioned once before, if you're like Radio Master, all their radios are FCC certified. So you can keep bringing in your Radio Master receivers and transmitters and things. That's fine, because I've got an FCC certification. But you can't bring in batteries because none of them have ever been FCC certified. Therefore, there's no pre-existing certification under which you can bring them in. So it really does slam the door. And I think people are sort of saying, yeah, but it's fine now because there's product in the supply chain. But when that supply chain empties out and people try to reorder, suddenly everyone's going to wake up and go, oh my goodness, there's no batteries, there's no motors, there's no flight controllers. What on earth are we going to do?
And they still really haven't made it clear the blue and NDAA list stand, and those are grandfathered in. There's still hunnering about that, and that's quite interesting because that's causing uncertainty. Then we can have another short one tonight, aren't we? Let me put up that other thing that what is it saying? Stop screen. All right. Let's see if everyone. Let's add this one. Hang on. It's all gone wrong. So we don't want that one. So let's stop sharing that one. Let's go share this tab instead. Under the bus, I missed this one when it happened. This is why I was hoping Ian was going to be here. But new drone rules will protect red arrows. And if you're not in the UK, the red arrows are
especially from
UK's
advanced-looking drones like that one. My goodness, that's super modern, isn't it?
exactly. But it's the reason this sort of, let's not throw ourselves under the bus, people. Let's not do that. Let's not, I'm better than you because I've got a business, etc., etc., etc. We don't need this. We don't need this in the industry. It's not going to get you further ahead. It's not going to get you to another place.
You got to remember, it is commercial versus recreational pretty much a lot these days. A lot of the imperatives are being driven by the commercial drone community or commercial drone industry, and certainly in America. So you can understand why they might take that perspective. If it helps get recreational drones out of the sky, good, more room for us.
It's not very forward-looking, though, is it?
No, well, it is. I suppose it is because they figure they'll have all the privileges, rights, entitlements, waivers, exemptions that they need to do their business, and that's all that matters to them.
Oh, well, I suppose. I just think that's an incredibly selfish way to work.
Business,
in I suppose.
The primary thing is to make
money.
It's not to make friends, to make money.
True.
That's why I was always a bit concerned about Vic Moss being a representative for the hobby when he's basically commercial operator in America.
And I've seen just today another outfit being mentioned as absolute experts. And when I said to somebody, but they're a shop, they were, well, no. DJI gear again to make sure you get the DJI version of the DJI story. As desperation and profit are excellent motivators, says Think Right. Yes, I suppose. Kevin, yeah, I suppose.
I had some worrying emails over the holiday break.
Have you now?
About 20 emails from people saying that they've decided they're going to give up the hobby, be it drones and model aircraft, for so many reasons. And obviously, regulatory overreach. There's issues with supply chain, because already they're paying tariffs on new products, and it's getting more expensive. It's getting less accessible in America because of the bans, and there's also the public, because with the media they're getting more pushback from the public if they fly in public, and it's kind of concerning because where does the next generation of hobbyists come from if the ones of us that have to fly out of the public eye and can't even put videos on YouTube for fear of perhaps being tracked down and dealt with? We're being so marginalized that there won't be people exposed to the hobby anymore, and we won't get any new entrants.
And that's, well, again, we've said it many times as before, it's future engineers, it's young engineers who want to go off and make and break and tinker. And well, look, we've got, I think, like Kevin, we've got the most outstanding engineer in the chat there. And where will the next Kevin, where would he come from? Where, or she come from? Where will
they need them, Gary? AI, mate.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's
it all dovetails.
That's
all coming
that's
together.
Okay. Oh, that's absolutely fine then. No, it's absolutely fine. Oh, silly me. Silly
STEM
me.
is a waste of human resources. We can just get an AI to do all of it. We don't need to train young people, teach them anything.
Yeah.
Teach them to pay their taxes.
Oh, yes, you might have gone precisely to just all they need to do. Well, I'm going to talk today, a chat with somebody a thing today, and why do we bother starting school at 7:30 in the morning every morning? It's just to fit into the old factory way of doing things. Why do we need to continue that anymore? It's nuts. It's nuts. We do things for doing things sake, tradition's sake, chasing exams and stuff. What should we be teaching these youngsters? Well, obviously I'm biased. I am going to say a bit of STEM and some engineering and breaking things. Let's go and break stuff. And we've got there's one lad, and I'm terrified he's going to electrocute himself because he keeps bringing in electrical appliances, and they're getting bigger and bigger with bigger and bigger capacity. Sir, look, I took this apart. What do you think this does? What do you think that does? So I'm just worried he's going to electrocute himself. Don't plug it in. But that's what we want. Yeah, break it. Let's see. Come on. Let's work it out. And let's see what we can make with these bits. And he must, I'm going off on a super tangent, aren't I? But he must lead the inquiry, and I must try and keep up with him. And that's what I think we should teach them. What do you think we should teach them? What's the comments think?
Of course, we should teach them common stuff, because we expose ourselves to an existential risk if we become totally reliant on computers and AI and everything, and people themselves don't have the knowledge anymore. They just use AI to manipulate a knowledge base, and they lose the basic skills. If we have an event such as a nuclear war or a massive CME or something that takes out our digital infrastructure, we've got people that can't do anything for themselves, and all the knowledge is lost because it was stored digitally. Not even books anymore. Books, so old-fashioned. So much of the new stuff is just online. It's not actually available in a hard copy. So when we lose that access to the cloud vaporizes. We have neither the knowledge nor a repository where we can learn the knowledge. We're stuffed. We go right back to the Stone Age almost.
Guess what we're building? Our new building is a big library, and we're filling it full of things called books because they've got to be able to read critically now as well. They've got to have looked at the classics. They've got to have looked at stuff and to understand the world. And I've been horrified this week. I've seen 3 posts where people have built quadcopters based on advice from AI, and it just fills me with horror. The idea that you would automatically go to Chat GPT. No, maybe I should try it. Maybe you guys will have all the bits. I could try that, couldn't I? I've got loads of bits lying around, but I thought of it.
Yes, and then when they turn off the free access to Chat GPT and Gemini and all those things, you've got to start paying. What are you going to do? You've already developed a dependency. You've lost the skills associated with getting that information yourself and analyzing all the stuff and coming up with solutions. You've chopped the leg off, basically.
It's
because everything's going to be a service, isn't it? Everything you won't own anything. Even now, with all this, I wrote a column this morning actually on the fact that with the price of RAM going up and GPUs going up, and you may have already bought your last computer, because soon you won't be able to afford a computer. So what will happen? Well, you've got GeForce Now, where you basically hire a GPU on the cloud. That's a NVIDIA service, so you can play games using their GPUs. And it's only a step forward to be you hiring a virtual PC. You pay so much a month for your virtual computer in the cloud, and it's always got the latest software and the latest CPU and everything, but you pay every month to use that. And the computers you got at home, well, they're old-fashioned. You don't use them anymore. At least it eliminates a lot of e-waste, I suppose, but it's still worrying that you're going to be tethered to monthly payments.
Yeah, no, it is. And with my teacher hat, and with you're pushed to teach really pretty outdated curriculums. There's no point. What I'm supposed to teach and what I actually teach are completely different things. Modern youngsters, they're well ahead and versed in things, and I don't know, you get a bit conspiracy theory. I think, well, they're just making sure that they keeping them at a level of thickness technology wise. Do they want to only get them to this place and not get them to explore? But thankfully they don't. Thankfully youngsters do explore. But your moat saying I need some RAM, was way expensive. I daren't look. I need a new PC. I daren't look. I don't want to look. I know the answer, so I won't ask a question.
But actually, you can get RAM as a service. It's on the cloud. You just connect up and it just adds to your RAM.
Oh yeah.
That'll be the next thing. Well, if it was practical, but not for you, because look at your bandwidth; it's useless.
Oh, then you might have to say, you mean when the RAM comes in and butts the door? That RAM on the service,
something like that. Yes, servicing with the RAM. That's the world is a crazy place, because a lot of people finding it just increasingly hard to pay the bills, let alone buy a new computer.
And you wonder how you could repurpose all the stuff you might have lying around.
Well, I built a new computer just before the prices went up, so I'm happy. I'm set for a little while. But a couple of my computers here are just old 4th generation i5 Intels, 4-core, 4-thread, and they, for what they do, I run Linux on them. They work perfectly fine. I don't need fancy latest state of the art, And as far as gaming, well, I don't do any, but all the gaming I do is very rarely is retro gaming with a Raspberry Pi and some old, 8-bit games. It's fun.
Yeah, we've got it's just here. There's mine for doing exactly that, just there. Oh, we must be old.
Yeah, we must be.
Yeah,
I played Cyberpunk 1832. That's my favorite game.
cyberpunk for me. The drone world has been for CES has really has very, very little to no announcements.
Yeah, it's all AI this year,
which is pretty interesting because 10 years ago, it's all it was. It's when we were going through, what was that waterproof thing that was a complete fail? What was that thing they kept chucking off boats and off bridges? And
there's been a few of them.
One of the many
Swell Pro mode. Oh, but the lily pad. The lily pad. Was it Lily?
Yes. No, it was something like that.
It was a crowdfunded thing originally, wasn't it? Yeah, and it just completely flopped. It was the Lily, I think they called it.
Well, that's none of that. And those, remember, those all got those awards. Remember that one with the plug-in arms and all that? The drone of the year.
You can buy those awards pretty cheaply now, I think.
Well, yes, I don't. Yeah,
but
it's,
AMD did their presentation, and I think they had about 30 slides in the presentation. It wasn't until they got, I think, to the 17th slide that was one without the letters AI in it. And I think of the total slide count, there was only like 3 that didn't have AI on them. And they released one new CPU this year, and it's just an overclocked version of an older one. They've binned and overclocked an old one. So there's no new CPUs, no new GPUs. It's all AI enterprise stuff now.
And well, they would have failed again. Back to teaching, they would have failed my class. In my class, you're not allowed to use more than 7 slides for a presentation, and you're not allowed to have more than 7 words on each slide. So you're supposed to know your story. So 30 slides failed massively. Failed my class. Well, nobody likes to sit. No death by. No, I don't. I'm going to teach death by PowerPoint. You know, come on. That's not what I'm. That's not what we're here to do.
As soon as someone puts up a PowerPoint presentation, my eyes glaze over, and I look for the donuts.
There really is. But it's quite easy to generate using AI and stuff, and Canva and things like that. It's quite easy to generate really groovy presentations now.
It's quite good, isn't it? Because people will use AI to generate a presentation and a whatever, and then the people it's aimed at will use AI to summarize it. So, you know, Chinese whispers, every step it gets slightly altered. So what they end up with is probably nothing what the original creator intended.
But it's hard to actually present that presentation and get your message and meaning over. That's the hard bit. So AI is taking away the pictures bit, but it still hasn't done you've still got to have the presentation skills, and that's the important bit.
If you're Jensen Huang, you've got to have the leather jacket. The man from NVIDIA with his leather jacket.
But that's a fair and valid point, isn't it? That is part of that. If you have a look, then you have to be brand. You've got to be consistent with that look, and that's what you are. And you recognize him straight away. And he doesn't have to say a word. You know who he is. So it is. That's all part of the modern world's bullshit.
His presentations remind me of dad dancing. You know, like wait for it. I mean, it's just so hammy. If he wasn't the head of a $1 trillion company, I don't think anyone would listen to him, would they?
No. And I've noticed another thing I've noticed since the 23rd of December, while I'm thinking about this, because I obviously track the socials for lots of autopilot and parts manufacturers, and several of the Chinese ones have plainly on the 23rd they started paying for more insertions, more advertising, more whatevers on what platform, because all of them on the 23rd started going like that. Everyone else just plods like this. So they're trying to get the message out that they're still there. So it definitely worried them, the FCC thing. Definitely worried.
It'd be just wait and see how it's implemented, how tight they are in controlling it, whether they're checking at the border or whatever. But now the fact that they've got tariffs involved, I dare say they will be checking everything at the border to make sure it's had its tariffs paid. So that's an opportunity to check the declaration and do a sampling of matching declaration to contents.
No,
I wonder if there's I wonder if importing something or attempting to import something that's on the covered list, I wonder if that's a crime in some way, whether you get fined or penalised.
Good question, eh? That's a very
all the good questions.
Shall we ask AI?
Let's ask AI.
To import items on the covered list. I had not thought of that.
That's why I get big money, Gary.
That is why you get the big money. That is true. That is true.
Speaking of which, my check didn't come through last month. What's going on?
Did it not? Tariffs. Sorry, been tariffed
Yeah, it
out.
would have been consumed by tariffs. Fair enough.
Yes, it is a serious offence, potentially a crime, with fines or charges to illegally import items on restricted or prohibited lists in. Oh, it didn't say, it says restricted or prohibited. Oh, and certain electronics, FCC. Oh, ivory, certain skins, but FCC covered list. So yes, it is.
Well, there
Yeah,
you go.
it
Because
is.
a lot of people have said, because when I've
You
been,
can. Yeah.
they said, "Oh, we'll just import it," you know. So they've got to realise they're opening themselves up to some penalties if they get caught.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, should we try and find a number?
I know what's going to happen. Now there's going to be boats heading out from China running batteries and motors, and like you run Venezuelan drug boats, and Trump will be shooting them out of the water, saying it's for national security. They were running motors or batteries or flight controllers.
Well, maybe. So seizure of goods, yeah, fines and penalties, significant. Don't just tell me significant. So that doesn't mean anything.
How significant?
Yeah, how much is the
Yeah,
fine?
just say, it'll tell you. It'll make something up if it doesn't know.
No, well, I'm looking at the US Customs, the actual customs website. Yeah. How much is the fine for importing? This is a video for you. This is, mate.
I shall do one on that.
Yeah, it was a good question. It was a very good question. I'd never thought. Goodness, USA. I don't want to know what it is in South Africa. Oh, it's not much. Up to $1,000.
It's only $1,000. Well, if you import enough, you're right.
For first offence, record keeping fines up to 10,000. So if it's a record, for intellectual property, could be $500,000.
That's all right. Just about a drop in the bucket to the average hobbyist.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's the cost of doing business.
Covered equipment. Oh, hang on. Seizure and forfeiture, market entry ban, criminal for serious offences. Criminal doesn't say what a serious offence is. Can reach twice the value of the goods and include up to 20 years in prison. Those don't seem right.
Yeah. If you had the choice, which would you take, Gary?
Well, that doesn't seem right.
They like to keep the prisons full in America. Is he coming back? He's come back.
I've come back, and Kevin said, why are you guys tripping over this lawlessness? CIs have been.
Yes, that's right. Is it Panama?
8. Oh, I wasn't back for long, was I?
No, you weren't. But it's Panama. Didn't they invade Panama at one stage?
Yeah. Well, there's all sorts of things. But yeah, it is all going to come down to how it's enforced, isn't it? And if it's enforced and it's enforced visibly, then well, we both know someone that's had a drone detained when he was trying to come down from Canada with it.
I also think it'll be a case of they'll do what they did with Mickey, Philly Drone Life. They'll pick someone and make a big example of them to try and stop other people from doing it. So if you're the unlucky person, you probably get 20 years in jail.
Is it? Well, unfortunately, he's got that right as well.
I don't know what
Sadly.
he means.
No,
that can't be right. No,
that can't be right. No, that sort of thing can't be allowed.
Justice is blind.
That can't happen. Justice is blind. At the moment, justice is over the ones making you blind, poking you in the eye with a sharp stick. Yeah, it is. I know you're friends with. Shame. Well, I think it's going to be another short one because it's only just you and me. Have you got any more? Exactly. Has any else come up on your radar?
No, not much this week. Actually, I guess it's because it's what?
Did you get the email from me about the?
Yes, I did. I saw that.
The ADSB requirement. Now, are you going to hurry up and enter that?
Yes, I probably. Well, why should I? Because all you get is recognition. There's not much value in that, is there?
Well, I mean, just
People recognise me anyway.
But do you know what? I've been thinking I would actually do it differently if I were to be having a field test environment and be there for a while. I would deploy lots of little ESP32 nodes, which you can use for receiving ADSB now, at distance. Say, mesh it all together with Meshtastic or another thing, and then have some over-the-hill stuff. Because if you take where I live, for instance, where there was a recent crash over here, there's a big just come through there at like 50 feet. So you'd have no aircraft, almost no time at all. Whereas if you had a receiver on the other side of the hill.
Well, here is the other option. Where is it? It's here, which I've got to be reviewing shortly. It's this. This is the other option because, hang on a minute. Oh no, that's just the antenna. It is. I've shown it before on here actually. It is. And that's just it's always the last thing to take out. There it is. That little thing there is an ADSB receiver.
Okay.
And so if you put the ADSB receiver in the drone or the model, it's got an elevated point, and also then any warnings will be relative to its position rather than your position. So if you're flying BVLOS or something, that's what you need. You need a relative to the position of the aircraft. So I'm going to be doing some work on this as well, and because that could be quite a useful thing, because people fly BVLOS, no one's going to stop them. I mean, goodness me. But you want to do it as safely as you can, and that's one way to do it.
Happy 2026 to Happy Flyer and YM Moat. Yes, I've been playing with Meshtastic today as well with some of these, some of these, and but they have all sorts of. Is that the current look of your device? What was that?
Well, it is the human interface. Well, it's a Bluetooth speaker, because now I've got it saying, because I worked out that when you're flying FPV, you can't see a screen, and something just goes beep beep. You think, oh well, hell, what the hell's that? So now it has it plays back through Bluetooth speaker or your phone, and it simply says approaching aircraft, feet, distance. Or departing aircraft, distance feet, or nothing to report. So it basically just gives you audio information. It speaks to you so that you don't have to have a look at the screen. In fact, you want to make one without a screen, you could do it that way if you wanted anyway. So it becomes smaller and simpler, because basically FPV, your ears are working, but your eyes aren't.
Yeah, I'm just putting in the comments there for YMO 868 EU. And of course, if you wanted to get the ADSB in the air, there's always cool. I'll pull this out badly. Always with the cube, there's the antenna for it there. So that's got it built in as well. And if you DJI, well, this is huge. Yes,
cube is huge.
Yeah, it is huge. Wow, the cube.
Where's this little postage? Remember the postage stamp flight controller?
They're coming. They're going to come off the Australian factory line, and I think he's just about ready to go with it. But they're going to come off the Australian line. He should, because it's a lot closer. It'll get to you before me.
Yeah, get to me quick. Yeah,
because it's nearby, isn't it?
If it doesn't get lost in the mail.
Well, you can when the tide's out, you can trying to find the link. Mad's trying to find the link. I'll send you the link. How will I send you the link? Oh boy.
So send him the link, and as soon as he appears,
we'll go.
Stream.
Yeah.
Well, he's gone. Look, Gary's gone anyway. He's gone all frozen again.
He's lazy, isn't he? Bloody Washman. Sorry, please talk amongst yourselves while I'm doing this.
That's right. Can't think and type at the same time, eh?
No, I can't. There we are. Right, that's gone like that. Or I could even just email it to him as well, couldn't I? But anyway, there's the link. There's the link in. Where did it? Oh, hello. Yeah, there we are. What ratio? 2 to 3 grand. 6 kilometers today. Well, but that was hill to hill, and that's exactly what I'm testing. They go out
You're
and
868, not 3.4.
Yeah, an 868.
Yeah,
it's not. Yeah, I mean, it's not the greatest thing, but that's the point of the mesh, isn't it? Really. Oh, look out! He's here now. Oh, green LED.
Me
Did you?
to
Did
send
you?
a email address because it comes to an email that doesn't come to this computer, and that's why I
Oh.
always struggle to find the link.
So Ian's going to tell us all about DJI 05, just about to be released, isn't it, Ian?
God, don't even get me started on that. Look at the mess in here. The great mess of
It's mesh-tastic.
It's where is your green LED there? I can't. Now, did you were you listening earlier? I can't believe what people are saying.
I've just come in. I thought I'm still out of sorts with this time thing because it's usually 10 o'clock and it's 9 o'clock.
But that changed before Christmas, you numpty.
But I'm an idiot. So,
Oh, well, there we are then. Yeah.
Ian runs
Fair
on
enough.
daylight saving all year. He's
I
on
struggle
daylight.
to understand. Yeah, something like this, man, is it called? Do you know the bit I don't understand? Why is everyone asking DJI? It's not their problem. You don't go to VW and say, hey, what is the speed limit in my street? And I don't understand why everyone is going to the manufacturer going, can you tell me if I'm okay? It's got nothing to do with the manufacturer. It is the local laws. And, you know, what's happened is fairly straightforward. I can't quite believe there are so many people trying to fly legally. That's the problem. The thing I'm a little bit surprised.
I can't believe so many people fly at night because I've flown at night once or twice ever. And I don't get it. I don't understand it.
Because people are trying to say things like, see this is infinitely grey. Because if you take the Mini 5 Pro, well, technically it's over 250 grams anyway. It comes from the factory over 250, but it is C0 certified, so it's fine. But if we take, I think the Mini 3 is something like 245. It's got enough weight space that you could get one of these on and retain 250 grams.
Depends when you measure the weight. It depends when you measure it.
Yeah,
if you measure it when it's off, it's heavy because it's lead. But if you measure it when it's on, it's light.
And the electron's moving, Bruce. but even though,
that was dreadful, Bruce.
If you look in the manual, a manufacturer will say it is only still compliant with certified accessories. So even if it's under 250 grams with this LED, by the letter of the law, the product then is modified and is no longer retaining its C classification. And as a result of that, you're not in the next category because people keep going, well, it's C1 then. No. It then becomes by weight. And the nice thing in the regs, to be fair, they've given a weight clause, which is if you're not certified, just go by the weight clause. Because take A2, if you've got a COFC, you can fly a non-certified drone up to 2 kilos. Which is going to cover all of these. So you can still do it if you've got a COFC. However, people are getting awfully bent out of shape over 5-6 grams. And what I'm just surprised about is you really do have a choice. You can continue to fly at night without the LED and be in breach of the laws from a notification perspective. Or you can add the LED and be a little bit heavy and technically break the rules, be compliant as much as you can. And it's one of those things, if you're not going to like the answer, don't ask the question. Just do what you think is right. And if it goes horribly wrong, you will be the guy standing in front of a judge and you'll have your chance to say, I held it on with Velcro. Please tell me whether 6 grams had any effect on the outcome of this situation, because that's what it will come down to. If your drone fell out the sky and took the head off a 2-year-old child in the middle of the night on Black
as they do,
you will be arguing, did that 6 grams have any material effect that caused it? Now, if the LED fell off and got sucked up into the props, you're pretty boned. However, the reality is, God, people get, again, as you say, Gary, the amount of people who seem to want to fly at night and legally, because here's the truth, I find it hard to believe 95% of people are 100% within the regulations of the law.
I think it's only
at all
you and
times.
me, Ian. I think we're the only ones that are 100%.
You
Definitely.
will scratch your nose, look down to stop tripping over, and you are in some form of breach. So it is interesting just how many people. I do get the question to DJI, because what people are asking is, can DJI change the LEDs? Because the LEDs ironically flash when you're not recording, and they go off completely when you are recording. And there is actually a valid reason for that. The LEDs will cause potentially flare on the camera, so they turn the LEDs off on the drone when recording at night. If you're just taking still images, you're compliant because your drone isn't recording. Therefore, your LEDs are flashing green. Therefore, you're compliant. This only becomes a problem recording video.
I think they shouldn't have any lights on drones, because it just creates troubles around airports at night.
It does.
Especially when you're flying around them. Yeah.
Does the photo sync with the flash then? When
it's not a flash, it's just the LEDs are on they turn the arm LEDs off to a minimum when recording to try and stop a glare and everything on the front of the drone, because any light will. Okay.
I noticed that with my police drone. My police drone's got red and blue flashing lights, and you can really see it in the camera. It really just it clouds the image to quite a degree.
Especially if there's like any fog or any mist, you will really start to see it. I do get the request to DJI to, hey, wouldn't it be amazing if you could control what your drone does, like the LEDs? It's only like every gaming PC or computer or phone, you can control what some of the stuff does. So it's a fair argument to say to DJI, can you just give me control over them, please? But the reality is they're going to be far happier selling you a UK Zero class drone in the next 6 months that does fully comply.
Now, has the CAA actually stood up the testing environment for the UK, or are they just going to take it straight from the seas? Because remember, that was one of the reasons they stopped doing that, was because they didn't have the facilities to test.
I think it's still going to fall under. It's going to be like the VW emission scandal. You tell us it complies, and it complies. I think that's where we're going to end up with this. There are a few differences, because I think today the biggest difference is the screen flashing LED. That's the basic difference between UK class from a flying at night perspective. The weights all pretty line up. What I still think is phenomenal in the new regs is if you look at in A3, you can fly up to 9 kilos, that's like an M freaking 30 size quad, which is quite incredible when you think about it. From a commercial operator perspective, you basically very rarely need a GVC now. Okay, some people will, but the truth is, for a general everyday use, you can do an awful lot under the A-class certification. But it surprised me how many people seem to be losing their heads over this. It's really...
And yet they've not paid, as we said at the top of this, they've not paid any notice at all to RID, really. No. They're not jumping up and down about that. They haven't joined the dots on the thing that's really, but it's okay because mine can do RID. I'll be all right. It's like, no. And also, how did they not know that the various DJI drones could do RID because of America? How did they not know that already? Anyway,
and I think the regulation change isn't particularly bad. I actually don't think there's anything, okay, they've tightened the regulation down on camera drones a little bit. Basically, they want everyone registered is what they want now, isn't it? If you look at safety first, comply, just so they can make sure that they can kidnap you from your room in the night. They've got to make sure that they know where you are.
Identify, track, corral, and eliminate.
Yeah, it's because it's the thing. It's the done thing now. People getting kidnapped from their properties. It's like,
that's what worries me. If I do anything that the US government just swoop and take me out, they tried it with Kim.com. Remember?
Yeah, they'll just kidnap you. Bruce has been kidnapped. It's inevitable. But I don't think the regulation's bad. But it's interest. There seems to be an awful lot of people flying at night. An awful lot of people flying at night
Because the nights
just,
are so much longer than the days in your part of the world
So-
right now.
yeah, and
True. Well, yeah.
There's a
Nighttime
lot of
would be.
confusion over people are trying to think like if my drone's C0 and I add the weight and it's now over 250 grams, does that mean it's C1? No, it's very simple. Once you step out of the class, that it's gone. You don't step up and down the classes. Your drone basically falls under legacy weight category. If it can't be complied within the class it's given, it doesn't get automatically step. You know, if the drone is 49 grams and you add an LED, that makes it 255. It's not then C1. It's
So how do model
then
aircraft get on?
non-classified.
What about model
Pretty much
aircraft?
the same. Nothing's really changed. There's not a great deal in there.
But if you've got an FPV
Articles-
model aircraft, if it's over 100 grams, you've got to register
Yeah, but you
and
still
have a
got
green light
Article
on it at
16.
night.
A green light at night for night flying. Yeah, but Article 16 still stands pretty much.
The world has gone mad, utterly mad.
There's nothing in it, I think, that really warrants people losing their minds over a flashing green. You know, for me, it would be quite simple. I would, as always, everything is about intent. Is a person going to walk up to you in the middle of the night and say, I want you to prove that drone is under 50 grams with that LED?
But I've seen people get put in jail for hurty words on the internet, and their intent wasn't to hurt anybody, but they still got jailed. That Lucy woman, she got jailed. All she did was post a little tweet and retract it. So I'm not
What
sure
did
that
she
policing works the way
actually
you think
say,
it
though,
does
in
now,
that
Ian.
tweet? What did she actually say in that tweet?
Not as much as the people that didn't get put in jail.
No. But look, I think most people just need to be sensible. Do what you feel is right, and if something goes wrong, be prepared to justify it. And that's always been the case. Remember the rule 241. Number 241 has always been that you only ever fly if you think it's safe to do so and you're not endangering other air users. I can't remember the exact wording, but 241.
That's like, it should be the prime directive. All the rest becomes advisory. How you can comply with that?
Yeah.
Happy Flyer's got it there. He's exactly right. I think that's a concern. I think we could.
Firefly.
Yes.
Green Firefly.
That's why you can't fly during
That's
a snow in
perfect.
Canada.
It's perfect. We have fireflies here, green fireflies. Yeah, we could do that. Yeah.
It's not a accessory.
No, but I'll train them and they'll fly in close
They'll fly
formation.
ahead.
Yeah, they'll fly right here.
Can you fly a swarm of drones under these rules? You probably can't.
Well, then I will have a swarm. It will be a swarm. Yeah.
I'm going to have to fly one aircraft at a time at night in New Zealand.
Although the CAA are tripping over themselves at the moment because everyone's asking them questions and they've already
trip
got
over themselves without a push anyway, don't they?
It's have you mentioned, because I didn't catch up earlier, Gas, so sorry, I dived in. I don't know if you've mentioned that the new trade body that Graham's. Oh, he's froze. Look,
yeah, he freezes from time to time.
No, is the answer. You can carry on whilst I've frozen. I will no doubt freeze again now.
No, because you might have.
We didn't mention it last week, but yeah.
Okay, I put quite a grumpy reply on to Simon's post on Facebook because I am a grumpy person. But I think Graham has set up a trade organization, hasn't he? Which is, look, it's really good, although I am highly suspicious of any trade organization because they're generally in the past, and nothing about Graham's, have been there to work for themselves or specific members and not everyone else. But Graham has set one up himself, and he's a good guy. He knows his stuff and he's talking. But I did get grumpy on the post because it was said he's got the ear of the CAA. And I was like, well, wait a minute. How can anyone have the ear of the CAA? Because it's my hope and belief that the regulator behaves the same towards everybody and equally and takes all of their feedback in equal measure and rules based on fairness and not who you know.
Justice is blind, we were saying before.
We were saying that earlier. I can't imagine it works any other way, Ian.
No. Well, hey, there's a new app. There's a new app now from FPV UK. Who's doing that?
That's the web. Is that the map piece? Yeah, the new map piece put out.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's a bit of a thing after Altitude Danger because the map is still up, but everyone's now looking to put up their own stuff I'm a member of FPV UK. They're a great organization.
They are. They are.
But yeah, great.
I would say that they've done more for commercial and hobby flyers than anybody else to date. They've had they've looked after a lot of people. They've done more than the BMFA. They really have. Oh, look out! Here's Chris Quiet. Yeah, when you were talking about the CAA, you invoked him then.
Yeah, I did get grumpy when someone said, you know, someone has the ear of a, you know, of a governmental organization, and I'm just like, well, wait a minute, that's not meant to be how it works. What I do feel actually is we're in a good position today with, I think, whilst the CAA's regulation isn't perfect, it never will be. You know, the reality is drone operators are always going to be unhappy, and the CAA are always pushing against trying to find a balance. I think the regulation is not shocking. It's not the best. It's not the worst. We've got some good people doing some good stuff. Graham with this new organization, FPV UK. I think we're in a better position there's a lot of good people doing good things out there now, unlike in the past.
Well, when they said they had the ear of CAA, maybe they meant the ear of Van Gogh.
Well, they actually had the ear of someone from the CAA. Yes, it's in a little box, and yes. I'm going to LinkedIn to invite Chris to see if we can. We probably can't get him to comment in any way or form, but I'm going to send him on LinkedIn. Chris, I am sending you the link to this, because if anyone knows about the CAA, it's him and their fair and honest way of dealing.
Yes.
They use him as a reference, don't they? A testimonial.
They do, yeah.
How to, not to, how to. But yeah, like it's, I think there's, you know, FPV UK have done an amazing job. Hopefully Graham will offer some value to people, because that's what it's about. What you want is someone to offer value. It isn't about, you shouldn't have to join a trade organization to be protected or to get something done. The trade organization is really there to have a cohesive message and things being put to the regulator that all members want. You know, it's a drive forward on a great push. What it shouldn't be is, my best mate needs this done. Hey, can we slip this through the back door, please? Or I'm advising Baroness Dolly about a brick wall. And by the way, I don't like these drones flying near my house. Could you stop that, please? Or something. Not that things like that have ever happened before.
Well, yeah, and also the size of that's like the size of the grave you dig for a body, but the size of the body's got to be large enough, or it's got to be representative enough of the industry as well. It's no good if it's 20 people or a small group.
No.
But the fact that we have, so FPV UK, well, BMFA must be the largest in the UK. FPV UK, maybe the second, then ARPAS, and now the new
Grey Arrows Drone Club.
Grey Arrows Drone Club, of course.
Big
Grey Arrow
guys. They are a big group of guys.
So, but between them all, they ought to start working a little bit closer together and have a unified voice when it goes to the regulator. This is the voice of the people. It's a utopian way of thinking this, isn't it? But that's what should happen.
I think people also need to stop making it, you know, in the past, too many times commercial drone operators have in positions of power have pushed regulation that benefits them. You know, the guys with loads, you know, big Soras in place, stuck under our pass, are quite happy to sit there and say, yeah, these little guys with them Mini 5s shouldn't be doing this stuff. Let's regulate that, or think it needs to be what benefits everyone. The competition shouldn't come through regulation, and that's what's happened in the past. People have maintained competitiveness through trying to regulate the others out of the industry.
Got an answer to that? Either of you two? Look out.
Not got a PS5.
Here he comes. Here he comes. He's going to arrive now.
Dun,
Wheelie Wheelman. It's a mystery, isn't it? We don't know who's coming. This is quite good. It's probably Ian, because the other Ian is
Circle.
Just trying to find the right anamorphic.
Oh, there he is. He's arrived.
Hello.
In the presence of Christmas.
Hello. Well,
Greetings.
welcome, Mr. Cockburn. Now, you may have opinions on how the CIA operates.
Well, I do. I think the, I've had a GA license for over 20 years with the CAA, so I've been complaining for a long time. But there are, it's very easy for us to be negative about the CAA, but actually, they're a much bigger organization than just the drone people, and
Well, yes,
it's
that's
quite
true.
easy. It's quite easy for us to forget that. And I've had a PPL for 20 odd years, and I don't have any problems with the CAA renewing it. And I kind of get, if anything, I'm going to object to having to pay for my bloody medical Selma fee, whatever it is. I have to pay just to update my medical, as well as paying for my medical. I have to then basically pay for it to go into the CAA system. Yeah. Don't like that. Other than that, I couldn't really say much. I really couldn't say very much about the CAA. But I do find it funny. I know I've been flying drones for a while.
What's the point? What was the point of even inviting you?
Well, I don't know. I can say some general things that I do still find it a bit funny that we have all these laws and regulations and all that, which we all follow, obviously, and it's a case that I find it really funny that the same laws and rules apply to my Mini 4 as will much larger cargo delivery drones, and it still frustrates me that really there isn't enough segmentation in regulation with regards to the type of drones that people are flying.
You think you got problems? Come to New Zealand.
Oh, I've been to New Zealand. I love New Zealand.
But everything from 0 grams to 25 grams is regulated as being identical risk. Same regulations
25
exactly.
kilos. 25
right across-
kilos.
25 kilos.
25 kilos. Yeah. 0 to 25. It's all the same. There's no there's no segmentation at all.
It is just, I just find it staggering, and if I had to start again, if I was the regulator and I had to start, what would I do differently? That's a question, quite a few people have said, stop bitching and tell us what you do differently. Well, the regulator doesn't say that, but other people in the industry don't. And I think, well, what percentage of drone flyers are flying DJI and are sub, 1 kilo, and how many of those are flying over people? And it's huge numbers of people compared to GA pilots and compared to microlight pilots. So there's a huge number of people, and it just seems to me that with all the C markings and the 250 gram weight limit, we can't talk. It's just bonkers, the complexity that they've managed to knit themselves for something that could theoretically. I always fly by Bruce's rule of don't fly over people and don't fly over their expensive property, and that's done me very well over the years. But it just staggers me how complicated it is, and and obviously drones, hobbyist drones through to professional survey drones. There's a huge number of those things flying when you compare it to other sectors of aviation in the UK, such as GA, such as even commercial airlines. There's a huge number more people are flying DJI stuff than any of those sectors. And then you move on to sort of the police law side of law maintenance. I'm trying to losing the words here. You look at the people who from the blue light services who are using drones. And you end up with the same rules applying to them as somebody who got a Mini 5 for Christmas kind of thing, and you're just a bit like, well, this is all sort of this one solution fits all doesn't really work, because that solution is just so complicated. And I see other things further down the line with I see bigger cargo drones, and I do wonder if we'll ever get to. If we'll run out of VC money first, or whether we'll actually get to like 300 kilo cargo drone deliveries from GA airfields, which I think personally is a great idea. But I do wonder if the VC community will run out of money and faith because of having the same set of regulations as DJI users. So it's just, what would I do differently? So I would segregate the aircraft.
Risk-based. Make it risk-based.
One,
But that's for segregation, because the intrinsic risk of something that weighs 250 grams and flies around parks is much lower than something that weighs 30 kilograms and carries stuff across a busy urban area. So all good regulation is risk-based. If it's not, then clearly you're over-regulating some aspect or under-regulating the other, and neither of those is acceptable.
Totally. But I think, segregate the types of aircraft, for goodness sake, and we've inherited, the UK have inherited all of a lot of this from Europe. And then you start looking at and you're having conversations with, where is all of this, Sora stuff come from, and Jarus and all of this, and you start thinking, well, how much experience do those people actually have?
Well, exactly. And if you look, you can see the same group of people. It doesn't take much. That's where it came from. Well, what service did they have? Oh, consulting services for Sora. Oh, I see. Oh, so they were on a meeting and then they thought this would be a jolly good idea. And now they seem to have the company that's consulting to the CAA for £10,000 a day. Oh, I see how it works now.
I couldn't comment on that. I mean, I know some of these people. I couldn't possibly comment on that. But I do look at the experience that those people, some of those people have had in Jarus, who've pulled Sora together, and I just look at that and just think, well, this is like, how much actual stick time have you had? How much airspace time have you had? How much aviation experience have you got? Or are you a risk-based accountant who's come in there and said, right, we're going to dot the I's, cross the T's, and again, this is all applying to we've got the same, that there hasn't been the segmentation of the aircraft type, and we've got Sora for people who are flying mapping missions, or Sora who are people who are flying 300 kilo BV loss drones in the future, and it's the same sort of process. And it's like, well, hang on a minute, does that not sort of that's just going to absolutely kill the industry? And all that will mean is that people go ahead and do it anyway. Not obviously not me. That's not the sort of thing I would.
No, none of us. No,
absolutely. Thank you. And the key thing, never fly over people or their expensive property. Anyway, you just look at this and you just go, this one size fits all. It doesn't, and it is going to cripple the lower end of the market. When I say lower end of the market, I mean as in the mapping people, and I don't mean that disrespectfully. It's lower in terms of the weight of the aircraft they're flying and the risk of that aircraft, etc. And I think it's kind of it just makes me laugh that sort of DJI has done amazingly well to make drones fly safely, and the regulator has done amazingly well at not believing them and just writing so much regulation that it's just too complicated. It's just too complex. It's a bit like having we've got effectively the same rules for HGV drivers as we have for provisional learners driving. I'm going to say a 1 litre Mini, but actually the 850cc was much nicer in my mind.
Oh yes.
So we're basically asking provisional drivers to go and do HGV tests, and we're basically saying to the HGV drivers, it's exactly the same for you. Now the HGV drivers have probably got deeper pockets, dare I say, because they're normally VC backed, than the provisional sort of Mini 850 drivers. And I think that there is significant issues with regards to that. And I've looked at, I'm wildly guessing here, I've looked at some of the costs of how much Sora applications cost in Europe and in the UK. And I just, if I'm developing some technology, which I might be, I am not going to be flying it in the UK if I have to pay that sort of money. And,
exactly.
I'd much rather go to America and get Part 107, whatever it is. I haven't kept up with the US. I haven't at all. So I'm, hands up. But I'm going to look at it and go, oh, do I fly? Well, do I fly in Northern Ireland or in Southern Ireland? Or do I go to Jersey? And do you want to go to Jersey or the Isle of Man, or dare I say it, the Falkland Islands? Because I could do quite a lot of.
Well, that's exactly what Blue Bear did recently, wasn't it? They went and did loads of stuff in the Falkland Islands.
Well, and you've got to ask yourself why that is. There, you've got a receptive, but small, admittedly, aviation community, and you've also got the military at Mount Pleasant. I had my 17th birthday at Mount Pleasant many moons ago. But yeah, so you've got receptive community, and you've got people who are keen for the work and want to help. And I think that's not always the case amongst all regulators in Europe. So there you go. I think we've just ended up in the most ludicrous situation where you're expecting the Mini 850 provisional license 17-year-old to know the same rules as the HGV and go through the same process accordingly. So there you go. That's my thinking on it. What else are we talking about? Green LEDs. Oh, now.
I've seen Cliff's arrived. So there we are. That's just for you, Cliff. I see you've arrived there. Just ladies. They just arrived with me. Cliff's. This is for Cliff. It's for Cliff.
Okay.
Well, green LEDs. Yeah. Well, that was the nonsense of.
I obviously haven't been flying drone. I haven't flown a drone in over a year. I took a Piper Warrior out yesterday and had a lovely flight in there. It was very nice, all crisp, but deep and crisp and even. Pitot heat on all the time. Thank you very much.
Oh yes, you can't beat out.
Absolutely. Steam dials with a couple of new ones as well. It was great. Anyway, the green flashing thing, is it meant to be on the top or at the bottom of the drone? And what speed is it meant to flash at?
Yes.
Discuss. Indeed. Well,
yeah, you've nailed it.
I say that we should have occulting ones, and that's really got people going, because as Ian came on to talk about, we spoke at the Bruce and I spoke about at the beginning. The people are going mull about these green LEDs. They're losing their shizzle over something that doesn't really matter.
What's the flash speed, and will it set my epilepsy that I don't have off?
Mounts the props. Says Happy Halsey.
Now I don't want to lose my class.
Well, I suddenly feel like doing stand alive with all these flashing lights. You never know.
Make it.
But that's been the mounts, the props thing. That's been done before for Sycamore season. Been done in lines, and then of course you can have advertising as well as you can have wording flashing through the whole thing.
Didn't we have someone on here at one stage that had a drone that had advertising stuff all around the side of it?
We did.
Have they made a fortune?
No, they still try and sell those things, but they've got flat screen.
I suspect they fell foul of the regulatory paperwork. Just saying.
Perhaps. I don't know whether Ian's finding the word in or whether I don't know what he's doing.
He doesn't know.
Very nice jumper.
It's lovely, isn't it?
I'm typing something out. I'm writing out something on a video. So
he's replying to the comments on his OnlyFans page.
Yes, that's it.
I'll be naked again in a minute. It won't be long.
Whoa. Bloody hell, we're getting out of here quick. Back away. Oh dear, yeah. Run for local council, Bruce.
As things said, it is interesting because I'm not going to say lucky, because we shouldn't be lucky. We do have some very minor risk-based regulation on weight, but that's been stolen from Europe. Let's be realistic. There's been no actual... They've looked at what Europe did and went, well, we need to justify our pay. Let's stick a green flashing light on the bottom of it. That's largely what has happened. But you are right in the sense of if you counted how many flights just illegally, and I would never fly illegally, and no one here ever flies illegally.
No.
But if you could just count up with, the ratio of legal to illegal drone flights must be at minimum 1-to-1. If not, I suspect it's 10-to-1, not in the favor that we think it's in either. Yet there are still not hundreds of accidents, people getting hurt, problems.
It's only a matter of time, Ian.
Red. Sorry, somebody had to say it.
It's the potential. There's always the potential there, because this is how they argue, but this could happen. But it could happen, because when I claimed that why would I need an observer flying my FPV drone under the tree canopy, because there'd been no aircraft. The guy from civil aviation said, "Look, you never know when a helicopter could get into an emergency situation, have to auto-rotate to exactly where you're flying." And I said,
It's funny you should mention helicopters. There was an accident where they're berating some. There you are. Exactly.
Slackline. Yep.
Exactly. So the slackline people are being given uphill. But I asked the question, why was the helicopter going through the canyon at 50 feet?
It wasn't. It was 600 feet. Well, I heard it was 600 feet. Yeah, they had it strung across the canyon right up high. They said it was 600 feet or something. And the helicopters, it flies through there quite regularly. And it was NOTAM, but then you saw Blanco Lirio's video, did you? Because he explained it all quite well. Yeah. But I mean, the thing is, here you've got an obstruction that has claimed for 4 lives. Is that regulated as much as the recreational multi-rotor drones that have never claimed a single life?
And I bet that slackline weighed more than 250 grams.
Doesn't matter. It should be more regulated then, shouldn't it? Where is the proportionality to the regulation? I could understand when they first came out with drone regulations, they're all scared it was an unknown territory. There was no data to work from. But after 15 years of solid, hard data, which has shown the intrinsic risk of these things is so low, it doesn't even cause a single death in that period of time. Why have you not reduced your regulation to be proportionate to risk based on the type of craft and the operations being flown? Is it just laziness?
Money.
Yeah, that's what it is. It is money.
Sorry.
Right, you did right. Absolutely right.
I know you.
So go out to money and regulation, and you look at the price of a SORA application in the UK, and you wonder, someone somewhere must have gone, okay, so we're going to get XT,000 of these, and it's going to hockey stick and do all of this, and that's going to cover the cost of building the system and all of that. And I put it to you that cost is just unfathomably high, and people are just not going to bother doing it. And that means that later down the line there's going to be a hole in somebody's budget. They're not going to recover the revenues, etc. Then there'll be either layoffs, etc., and we're going to get stuck in this even further deeper hole, and we're going to have to pay more money to consultants to come in and help us get out of it, I would imagine. Call me old and cynical, but I guess that's probably what's going to happen.
That's the thing about other people's money. There's always more where that came from.
Absolutely. So, there you go. So did we? So I'm sorry. Did we actually get an answer on whether or not it's on the top of the drone, the green light? And
it must be. I did respond.
I believe it has to be. The regulation is very loose because it doesn't say who it's got to be seen by.
Yeah.
So it doesn't specifically say, is it to
a woman
avoid
called Claire down the chip shop?
It doesn't.
She's a liar, and I'm not sure about you.
Yeah, there you are.
Wow.
Yeah.
And what about flash rates?
It would be the same as a strobe, wouldn't it? What's that? Does it have to be 3 flashes and pause, or what is it?
How does that work? How does that work for drone light shows? I mean, are we just going to go to like green is the default?
Yes.
Black. I don't know. So I should know. I used to run a drone light show company. I should know.
You did. But
now I'm literally just trying to find the specific one, because the problem is it's published in the drone code, but the drone code isn't regulation. The drone code is the drone code. It's
advisory.
It's the interpretation of the regulation, isn't it? The drone code.
I have difficulties with the interpretation of regulation.
Regulators tend to interpret differently to most people.
There's the law, and I tend to fly to that generally.
Same here in New Zealand, because our regulators is when they do an interpretation, they rarely mention the exceptions that they to do things like fly shielded operations. You may not fly within 4 kilometers of an airfield, but what about shielded operations? No mention of that in the supplementary information, only in the rule set itself.
And again, they've probably written that for the XT,000 DJI flyers, without considering that that somebody may actually want to be flying a cargo drone into that airfield. And so
see this is interesting. See, when you read the drone code, which again is an interpretation, but whether you would stand up with this in law, it says if you fly a drone or model aircraft at night, your aircraft must have a flashing green light turned on. It will make it easier for other people and aircraft to spot your aircraft.
Can't be both.
Wouldn't it have been a better choice to have a color that wasn't a navigation color?
I think so. Yeah. I'm going to use a black LED on mine. It'll work in the daytime too.
Wow. That's a great idea.
But if
I
you
love
notice,
that.
there's
Very
no
visible in the day.
wording on is it above, below.
Yep,
It's
but the
just-
thing is, if it's supposed to be
what
both, Ian,
Pantone colour of green should it be?
yeah.
but the positioning is critical because if you have it on the bottom, aircraft can't see it. If you have it on the
Yep.
top, the people can't see it. So you need 2 green LEDs to satisfy that.
I agree, Bruce.
And are they flashing like alternately or together, or?
Yes, definitely. Either alternately or together.
And it just looks like a starboard wingtip beacon.
Well, exactly. I'm just typing that. That's
Just-
yes. You've got your red and green lights, but
Mm.
they're not flashing. They're
They should
solid,
be
aren't they?
fixed. They should be fixed.
They should be fixed
Yeah.
and visible to 110 degrees, if my memory serves.
Can you
something
paint
like
the
that.
drone
Oh, no,
green
I
and
think
use a
you're right.
white
I think
light?
it's 110.
I think it's visible to 100. Is it 110 degrees and 120 for the tail? The red at the tail.
Yeah, I think it's 120, so 60 either side of sensor.
60 either side of the thing and 110 either side of the of that.
Yeah.
So yeah, there is. Because in the comments I said there weren't, but I don't think there is an aircraft single a single light flashing.
Solid green.
So there's solid green for an aircraft, but for anything else, there is no. I don't think there's a flashing green light.
What's the terminology in the military for when they're night flying? The formation lights. They're green, aren't they? And they're solid.
Here is something quite interesting because
Oh yeah, they are. Yeah, they are.
And you get
Yes,
lots of
they are.
them.
yeah, I've just
Yes.
reading. I've just come up with something which is actually CAST, and this is the CAA media documentation and a aerodrome safeguarding advice note. Okay, so this is specific for aerodromes, but here's what's amusing about this is confusing lighting. To avoid confusion with aeronautical ground lights, it is recommended that any purpose lighting schemes, especially streets, car parks, are fully cut off and mounted horizontally. And then they start talking about aircraft lighting. It is recommended for lighting schemes. No, sorry. This is for local lighting schemes
Yeah,
near
this is
an
like
aerodrome
the
to
apron.
avoid red, white, and green.
Yeah. But isn't the rotating beacon on most American airfields green as well? Because surely some people are going to go,
Could be.
I thought it was a drone and it turned out to be an entire airfield.
See,
I
in
can't,
theory, this
and then you've got
sorry.
no. Well, you've also got from the tower. I think doesn't flashing green mean return to land and green's clear to take off and red is. I can't remember.
Of course, I know that. Of course, I know that.
With the oldest, it used to go and fire those things at cars on driving around the thing.
Yeah.
No, you wouldn't do that. That's
So every
not
time a
something
drone
you'd
takes
do.
off, all the airplanes will come back and land at night.
Yeah, yes, that's right. Yes, a green. Yeah, exactly. I'm sure a green
Little
flashing
bit
light
back.
from the ground means. Is that what it means? I can't remember, Chris. I'm sure that's what
I'll
it
have to
means.
look it up. It's been so long.
Return, I'm sure green to land, green flashing light, return to land. Red, do not. I can't remember. It says 40 years since they had to do that. So, mirror balls. There we are. Cliff wins.
I think
Yeah.
I need to.
Cliff wins. That's it. Cliff wins.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah. So,
What a
It's
dog's
miracles.
breakfast. What a
What
dog.
was
Yeah.
that image? What's that image behind you, Gary? It looks like you look like you're sat in the dishwasher.
It
at
is
the
all
moment.
right.
Don't you know? Don't you know what that is? You
No, I
bloody
don't.
young man. You're a young man. You've gone
Doesn't even know
down in
Blake
my
Seven.
estimate. Blake, it's all right. Blake 7.
Oh yeah, I am younger than you. Sorry
Because
about
the
that.
theme tonight is AI.
Yeah. Yes, that's right.
If only my parents had met earlier, I'd know what that was. Brilliant. Happy day.
Oh, now I'm feeling really old, man. Jeez.
Oh, don't.
Oh well, it's okay. You can blame Cliff. Always blame Cliff in all these things. Just blame a rainbow flashing light. Yes, blasphemy.
Yeah.
Yes, he's just caught up in New Zealand. Blasphemy. Yeah, no, the light sings it, but people have lost their shit.
I think,
over
you know,
it.
I think it's only a matter of time though before the maybe the drone scene at airfield will all get debunked because it couldn't have been a drone. It doesn't have a green flashing light on it.
Well, that's exactly what the other Ian said. Oh, thanks very much. Wrong coloured light. So that's exactly what he thought. That's
Yeah,
exactly what-
So I haven't really
Exactly
been
what he
keeping up with with my monitoring of the drone industry, shall we say? I've been otherwise occupied in the last few months. So
it's okay. You go away and come back. It won't change all that much. There'll still be a group of people proclaiming the latest and greatest thing that they have invented, yet we've all seen loads of times before, and it's going to solve everything. And then there'll be people trying to sell you DJI gear. That's it. That's all you need to know.
DJI is banned now, Gary. It happened. We're on the other side of the new
No,
world
no,
order.
we're going to import them from some of the other side of the New World Order. No, we haven't. That started a couple of days ago. We're not.
When I'm there,
not.
you just go get myself kidnapped. One moment.
Yeah.
It's the in thing now,
to America.
apparently.
You go to New York and everything.
Yeah. I'm booking my flights to Greenland. Apparently, it's a great place to go this time of year. So,
Yeah, we said earlier, you go west, young man. It's going to be go northeast now, isn't it? Repopulate the. Yeah. I mean,
but it is interesting. The DJ ban has happened, Gav. We're over the line. It's here. You can't buy that. And someone asked on Facebook earlier, I thought they were banned. Why can't you get them when you can't buy old products? Because you still have the restriction on ports of products due to the
Human
Well,
rights.
that was a real ban, wasn't it?
Yeah,
That was the
that's really stopping it all. The FCC one was interesting, far more pushing than anyone really expected. But we'll just have to wait and see how it goes. But yeah, they're gone. It's over. You can buy your all American drone now. It comes with a Yankee candle and red, white, and blue
Box brownie camera.
and gold. It's got to have gold on it.
Box brownie camera. Yeah. So steam, petrol, or coal, one or the other. Yeah.
Runs on
some
coal,
sort,
yeah.
some
None
sort
of
of fossil
this
fuel.
UH nonsense.
Yes, none of this electricity stuff. None of
It
that.
runs particularly well on Venezuelan crude, is what I believe.
Which there just happens to be a lot of coming onto the market for some reason.
It's quite interesting. Why did they let all those tankers run away from there?
Because
They
they're
were
Because
made
they went dark.
registered. They're using that dodgy registration. They switched their RID off and legged it. I don't know.
They
So
spoofed
it's
the
all
GPS.
about where the tanker's registered, isn't it? So
No, but you
Well, that
think,
one off the coast of Ireland is now registered as a Russian tanker. So
yeah,
that'd be interesting.
yeah.
well, that is the interesting one, isn't it? And are they going to go and get it? Because there's talk
Yeah.
that if it goes into international waters, they're going to get it. So, yeah, it's a gap, isn't it? It's the Iceland, UK, something Greenland gap. There's some name for that gap. I can't remember what it is.
It's
But
one of
they-
the shipping
Water.
forecast regions, isn't it?
What, the Gulf of Americas?
Yeah, everywhere is now the
Yeah.
Gulf of America.
East America, yes. Yeah, they got north south. They must have east and west now.
Every
Just
year at the
because-
moment, it's getting more.
The
and
planet
more
formerly
like-
known as Earth.
Yes,
It's getting more, every year at the moment, it's getting more.
Planet
and more like
Trump.
1984 geographically.
It is.
Politically, it's
It's got,
1984.
we've gone beyond it. We've gone beyond it. And there was a girl at school reading it last year. It's a 12-year-old girl. I said, "Well, good for you. Well, well done reading that." But I'd stop if I were you, because there's a bit too much info. You're quite young, and you just maybe not. But no, it was. Yeah.
Well,
it's
it'll be
quite-
nice
quite
to
a thing.
see, it'll be interesting to see
Remember,
what
she
happens when-
immediately took your advice and went back to My Little Pony stories, right?
Yeah.
Team America was a documentary. That's right, exactly. I'd just like to say, great acting, Gary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
we can recommend some books for the future reading, which will be How NATO Fell, how Greenland became the 51st state, and there's how long before. It's interesting that he's made China look outright reasonable.
Well, I'm amazed that China hasn't just taken Taiwan and gone, "Wow, it's a new year."
I think it's a great opportunity for China to look like the good guy.
I think China won't take Taiwan until they've got all the fabs set up in the USA, because
Yeah.
if the fabs are in the USA, there's much less reason for USA to come in and protect Taiwan to much of a degree. And so China's
won't have a good
timing it
region,
very
basically.
carefully.
Yeah. And I think China can sit back in this and actually not look like the aggressor and look like the good guy to Europe, because
They're
real
going to
truth
save
is,
the Taiwanese people from
it's not
the
just
horror
them,
of
Bruce.
democracy.
frankly, if you're going to ask me which way I'm leaning, what I'm seeing, I'd rather lean that way than that way right now, and I'd rather not lean anyway. But the truth is, if NATO falls or if Greenland's invaded, China can sit back and shout international law, we didn't do anything like this, and actually look like the
not
guy.
like the worst party in the room.
Yeah, and the crazy thing is, you don't have to look sane. You just don't you don't have to look as mad as the maddest person.
Do you think they could do something about Starmer?
About
Do you think
Starmer.
Trump could come in and just
That silence could
whisk him
that
away
silence
to
could kill him.
Guantanamo?
No,
I
He'll
just
be
look
gone
at
soon
it and
anyway.
just think, I just want my money back from COVID, because COVID was meant to be this amazing pandemic.
yeah.
And I just look at it and go, it was a failure of a pandemic. And look what's happened since. The world's just gone crazy. Everyone in the UK now lives in a little box and streams Netflix and never goes out. All the pubs are closing. And it's just like, this is post-COVID. The world has changed massively. And not
One of the big
Yeah,
reasons,
not
of course,
for-
is that governments threw huge amounts of money they didn't have at
If
paying people to sit home and do nothing.
If COVID had been a decent pandemic and taken out half the world, it would probably be a better place. But it didn't.
we'll be
and
richer.
it's not.
Well, those of us that were left, you are presupposing you're one of the left ones.
There was no Spanish flu, I'll tell you now.
It nearly had been. So I think I'd have been on the wrong side of it. So I'm not sure I agree with this conversation. So,
Right.
Well, there you go. Indeed.
We'll never take Taiwan. I think they will, old boy, I'm afraid.
the way it's going, we might even give it to. They might even again. All America has to do is keep
as they
looking
say in
crazy.
China. Well, may you live in interesting times, as they say
I
in
think
China.
2026 will be very interesting, to be honest.
Well, I'm looking forward to the World Cup.
Oh,
The
yeah.
World Cup's going to be amazing.
Yeah.
Who's going to go to that? Who's
Exactly.
going to go to it?
Yeah.
Well, you've got to give over all your social media history for the last 20 years or something, don't you?
Yeah. It's made it, I tell you what, it's just a real shame though that it's really made a mockery of the great prize of the FA Peace Prize, and he's just completely devalued that for anyone else moving forward. That's just, the prestigious thing that it was.
The Nobel Peace Prize. Yeah, he's working hard. Anyone who renames their Defense Department
the
Department of
FA
War is clearly after
You know,
the Peace Prize.
Today, there's a thing about they've got not quite a competition, but anyway, they've got a thing for the Department of War makers FPV drones, and I can't be asked to publish all the PR. It's all raw and all. I was like, nah, I'm not posting it. I'm not publishing it. It's just bollocks. So
But what about the United Nations? They come out of this with eagle over their face, don't they? I mean, they're the most useless, toothless organization in the world. And now they can't enforce their own, laws as such. And it really is just a home for retired politicians who are getting a payoff for doing something while they were in Parliament, isn't it?
It's not one has come out and criticised. Because if you look, agree with the guy was a bad guy, but what happened was a nation kidnapped the leader of another sovereign nation.
It's vigilante justice. It's vigilante justice, and it's not acceptable
Nothing to
in
see
our
here.
world.
Move along, please, people. Nothing to see here. Nothing at all.
Nothing.
Move along, please, people.
It wasn't, but regardless of what it was, they actually kidnapped him.
But if your neighbour
Well, it
was
was-
beating his wife and you went over and beat the snot out of him, you wouldn't be able to defend that because vigilante justice is not allowed in modern society. So Trump is just saying, no, we can do vigilante justice.
But Palantir,
Yes. Oh, what a relief.
I am not associated with that comment. It's nothing to do with me.
if you're interested,
someone
in
that's got
hearing
BB
more
lost in their
about
name.
Palantir, is look up Gamers Nexus
Yeah,
because
they did
Yes.
some good videos, eh?
some
Brilliant.
real stuff coming.
Yeah.
On,
And did you see the cameras? That's that other company. I forget the Flock cameras videos.
Yeah.
Those are pretty amazing as well.
Yeah.
But
We live
it's-
in dystopian times.
but also like our dear viewers and others, we're sort of people that are up to date with all that sort of thing and keep an eye and an ear to all that sort of thing and realize it's happening. But 99% of the world haven't got a clue. It's old news to us lot, but
And isn't it interesting to note that in America, that big fraud with all the daycare agencies, the Somali daycare agencies, that wasn't the mainstream media that got it. It was a citizen journalist, an independent guy. Shows you how poorly the mainstream media is doing at reporting the important facts in the world.
And in no way was that found to be a complete hoax. In no way at all. No, not in any way was that found to be. Yeah, and so hang on, let's see what you need to do if you want to change the narrative. Is you make up a false story and then you get Elon Musk to retweet it, and then it becomes truth.
Yeah,
then it becomes a fact.
I can't wait. He's going to build 10,000 starships a year soon. Isn't that amazing?
Who we have to pay to get Starmer kidnapped by Trump?
We could do some crowdfunding.
I mean, I don't think there's enough money in the world to
we wouldn't notice he's gone. So he would just carry on as normal. You'd be like, well, nothing's changed. He's literally a corpse anyway. So,
can you imagine Angela Rayner fronting up to Donald Trump?
Doesn't her son have a restaurant? Oh no, that's someone different, isn't it? No, never mind. That joke didn't go. That didn't work. That didn't work. But no, we're definitely going into nonsense mode.
We have.
So,
I think it correlates with me appearing on me joining the stream.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. We
Sorry,
were absolutely, we were completely serious before you arrived. Oh look, he's just
run away.
He's just run away.
Oh no, is that Delta at the door for him?
Yeah,
like
you can hear the helicopters. Exactly. Yeah,
the door opened. What colours? The door opened by itself, right? So I had to go and check what was going on.
Black Hawk Green is outside.
Oh, there he's gone. That's it. Cut him off. He's gone. Conspiracy.
Well, he has been.
If the chemtrails don't get you.
What was
Why did you keep it? Why have you got a pillowcase in your office? Anyway,
he took the ball out of his mouth first. That was good.
Yeah.
Very good.
The OnlyFans again. So.
Yeah, he's going to get the props ready, isn't he? And all that sort of thing. Yeah, that's planning. I like that. Right, we're talking nonsense, dear viewer. Yeah. Unless anyone's got anything, going once, going twice, these doors opening again. Dear viewer, wherever you are in the world, look after yourselves. It's a crazy world in which we live. Just be safe out there with your families. Go well, everybody. We'll see you again next week, 2100 Gin and Tonic.